With regard to the new policy that we will be having copies out in the lobby when we break for lunch, we will require, as a part of that program, agent verification of identity for the responsible person of the rental. That agent will have to verify that. The agent will have to witness the contract acknowledgement, all acknowledgments and executions. And as I start through this, please, this is just an overview. Our training presentation that will follow this will go into much more detail on all of these aspects. This is nothing new. This has been in the ordinance since its inception in January of 2008. The new policy that we're implementing is strictly providing clarification as to what we need to do to make sure that all parties that are renting private home rentals are complying with these requirements. So in-person check-in is nothing new. We're just trying to clarify what those requirements are and identify that the people doing in-person check-in are trained accordingly. Also, I will note as another housekeeping issue, we will be posting the policy, this PowerPoint presentation, and the follow-up training presentations on the city's website. So you will have access to all of that. So, as I said, agents also should be identifying key aspects of rental compliance or special conditions that may be listed with that particular unit. Some of you are aware of this. We've had issues with private home rentals in the lake areas where docks are being used by the private home rental guests, and special conditions have been placed in the contract for those particular units identifying, please don't utilize other people's docks or trespass on their properties, because it's been a big issue. And the rental agent makes sure that the renter signs that or initials that acknowledgement. So the agent will need to identify and get the acknowledgement from the renter as to any special conditions in the contract. Agents also need to be observant. They need to take a look at who's coming in. Do you have somebody that says that, gee, yeah, the guy that arranged for the rental, he's my dad, he can't quite make it in, but he's already paid for it, your card's on file, I need you to execute the contract. Well, and get the keys. Well, number one, you don't know whether he's 18 or not, and if you're under 18, you can't execute the contract. Number two, if he is 18 and you allow that to occur, you potentially void the contract because now the person financially responsible isn't signed on the contract, and so all bets are off. So it's critical that you're observant of who is executing the contract. And what do they look like? Are they argumentative? Does it look like they're trying to hide something? Observation is key in trying to head off potential issues with the stay at that particular unit. So the agent should be observant and noting anything that just doesn't look right. We also, as a key element, like you've received today when you signed in, a training acknowledgement that has been given to you for the in-person check-in and also for the 27 complaint. Once you've completed those, turn those back in. You will get your certificate as to providing as to have participated in the training, and you will be on our list that you are an approved 24/7 check-in agent or an approved 24/7 complaint response agent. So that's the whole idea behind the ID again. The acknowledgement that you received to complete is basic information, your name as the agent, the managing agency or property owner that you're representing, and your declaration that you're familiar with the requirements of that position, that you will do to the best of your ability to perform the functions of that particular provision, that you understand that not complying with the in-person provisions in section 1703.315E of the ordinance, that you're subjecting potentially yourself, your agency, or the property owner or the property owner to fines and potential loss of the ability to rent that unit. So we're taking this very seriously. We're not saying that this is a major issue. What we're saying is it's an issue that we've had with a number of rental units that has the potential to grow much larger as we see more and more units rented by owner-managers in particular, and even outside business investment firms through VRBO or Home Check Services or Craigslist or any of the others that are out there on the web now and so prevalent. So we're really trying to work in partnership with you guys to ensure that, number one, the rules are equal and fair. We've got a fair playing field for all involved. Number two, that we try and keep any potential renegade rentals under control, keep that manageable, and be able to show that when we go through enforcement proceedings on illegal rentals that we catch, and we're catching them, or illegally operated rentals, even though they may be registered, and we're catching those also, that those enforcement activities are fair, even-handed, and they aren't directed at any one person or agency. So that's what this is all about. And again, we always look at it from the city's perspective, and what we try to do with the rental industry in general, private home rental industry in general, is we're partners. You're our partners, we're your partners. We want to make this industry successful in the Valley. We think that we've done a good job. We think that you guys have done a good job. This is not punitive. This isn't out to get anybody. This is not anything where we're finger pointing. This is strictly an effort to keep our promise to the citizens of this community and our promise to your industry that we're going to work together as a partnership to make this whole program work. 24/7 complaint response overview and the key elements of that. Again, a 24/7 response agent's critical point is meaningful response. You've got to be able to respond to a complaint within 1 hour of receipt of the complaint. You have to be able to contact back our 24/7 hotline. We've had issues with that in the past. I'm hoping that we can get this really solidified so that you're calling back our 24/7 hotline so that they can notate that you responded and the nature of your response. Was there an issue? Was there not an issue? It may be a simple call back saying, hey, on this particular issue, a call was warranted. We made the call. They assured us that this would not occur again and that they were taking care of the issue, and that may be the end of it. Or it may require, and in a lot of instances does require, a visit to the unit. And you have to be able to do that within an hour of receipt of the complaint. Agents, you need to call code compliance through that hotline if you need assistance. We have assisted multiple times on numerous evictions of units because the people were just totally out of control. Call us, we'll help you. If you have a need for assistance where you're in a potentially life-threatening situation or a threatening situation and it looks like it's not going to be good, don't call us first, call 911. Just as any emergency situation, call 911. If you've called for our assistance and the code officer's there and it turns ugly, the first thing that the code officer is going to do is extricate you and himself from that situation, and he has a police radio, a sheriff's radio, and he will call for deputy assistance. I've had experience with this myself, and I've had deputies, in fact, in the one instance I called on, I had 4 sheriff's cars there in a matter of about 45 seconds to 2 minutes. They started arriving, and the last one arrived 2 minutes later. So we can provide that assistance if we're already involved in it, but don't get yourself involved in a dangerous situation. Once you see that things are not good, back out and call us for assistance, but call 911 if there's any kind of threat or an immediate danger, but get out of there. Again, the new training acknowledgement attachment for 24/7 complaint you received at the table looks very similar to the other declaration with regard to the in-person check-in acknowledgement, with different verbiage with regard to what you're doing as far as a 24/7 response agent.